What's up, Spikelings? The stream's only source of entertainment, Esther here, welcoming you back to the Shark Typhoon. Today, we're changing things up with actual jokes and some real joy in the stream. So sit back, relax, and get ready to have fun for a change.
Lotus Amulet well. I wanted to do this for a handful of reasons. One, big breakthrough, but also, we're about to get a new set in 8 days, so I think it's really important to be circling back to a lot of the deck lists that were worked on over the course of this Wilds of Eldraine season. It was a really, really, really productive season, I think. I want to do a YouTube video not only on this set review of the new set, but I want to do a video kind of covering everything that we worked on over this last set, because I think a lot of times it just gets lost, but this was just such an awesome season. Let me read this in chest cold open real quick. Good morning, Spikelings. It's time for another episode of the Shark Typhoon, and I'm your favorite e-boy that breaks modern on the regular, your once in a future PT Crusher aspiring Spike, and I'm here to tell you I've solved it, Spikelings. Timeless Amulet is now solved. They said it couldn't be done, but they were wrong. I'll show them all how wrong they were with these trophies, so graze peacefully as I cultivate up a colossal amount of wins, prepared to be amazed and praise Collosus. Good opening of chest. Good morning, everybody. Okay, so the last time we played this deck, I was pretty set on this formula of Up the Beanstalk mostly replacing the Explorer and the Azusa package, which are cards that I've always felt like have been pretty optional in this archetype. They are kind of nice to have access to, but they lead you to flooding out a lot more than you would like to, which is a big problem with this archetype. I guess maybe before I get too deep into it, I kind of should probably go over what it is to like about Timeless Amulet compared to traditional Amulet Titan, the pros and the cons. There's two, I think, major pros to this build over Amulet Titan. Maybe three. I think that the biggest one is the deck is a little bit faster on average than Amulet Titan. I think you have a much higher range of you have a higher range of turn 3 kills. You are going to be half a turn faster than Amulet Titan on average. That's the big point. The biggest point, though, is that your deck is really, really resilient to creature removal. Amulet Titan is a deck that can struggle in the format of Solitudes and Unholy Heats and Terminates. Dryad also, just being so fragile to cards like Fury is a big problem. This deck is incredibly resilient to creature removal. If your opponents kill your Goloses, that your Cultivator Colossus, you just don't care very much. The other really nice thing, too, is, and something that's kind of innocuous, is when you play Dryad and Amulet Titan, you have to play, Valakut, you have to play Slayer Stronghold, you have to play the Double Strike land, you have to play Teleria West. There's a pretty big package of utility lands that don't really help your ramp plan, and so your mana base gets to be very smooth, very clean in these in this build instead. Those are kind of the main three advantages. So the last time we played the deck, we're playing Up the Beanstalk. Obviously, we were even playing it before we kind of realized exactly how broken Up the Beanstalk was. This was pre-Cascade Bean that we were playing in the deck, and the card was, I think, very impressive to me. The problem was, and this has kind of always been the problem with Amulet Timeless Lotus, and why we have the title as Timeless Lotus solved here, is that this has always for me been the best package. We played Karn a lot. Karn is okay. Karn is, I think, just is the worst of your big payoffs. Is very slow. Kind of easy to disrupt. But Timeless Lotus is your ramp spell. Golos and Escape the Wilds have always been your best 5 mana payoffs, your best things to ramp into, and we've tried a lot of other things. We've tried Storm the Festival, and Storm the Festival is good. The problem is it works really poorly with Escape the Wilds. So we tried Storm the Festival with Cavalier of Thorns. The problem is Cavalier of Thorns sucks. We tried Invasion of Alara, which is really, really good, but you can't cast that card consistently. And after and then we even went as far as to try Urban Evolution in this Cultivator Colossus slot, which is actually which was not a bad card, and they used to play Giganta, but after just kind of going through it some more, I found basically the only card I'd never tried in the shell, and also what is just definitely the best card. Cultivator Colossus. Have I tried Primeval Titan? Yeah, so this is something true. Spike, play Titan. Titan is not 4 cards. To play Titan, you have to do something you have to get multiple Summoners packs in the deck. You have to get multiple Teleria West in the deck, and then you still have to play a Cultivator Colossus to Titan into. Obviously Primeval Titan, very, very good card, but it requires you to add 10 cards to your deck, when this formula, and then you're like still weaker to removal, but this formula is just has always been so close to being where you need it to be, where you're just drawing cards, and it's in a way that's very hard for your opponent to interact with. But Cultivator Colossus is 2 more mana than Escape and Golos, but I have also it is also every single time I've cast this, it just has not been close at all. Every single time I've cast Colossus, the game has just spiraled so crazily out of control. And it also plays really well with the Up the Beanstalk tech too, where when you're going off on your bean turns, you're drawing a lot of extra cards, which just means you almost always just have lots of your hand is somewhat full of lands, or you'll have enough lands at Colossus. Usually with the Beanstalk tech, the Colossuses have been the best. This has been the best formula I've played. I have played this. This is not even all the different versions we played on stream, but we played this this Twiddle version for a little bit. It's just this one is actually kind of experimental. Never before seen on stream. We've gone through a lot of different builds, and this, in my opinion, is the best build. This is the most powerful version. This is, I think, Timeless Lotus solved. I think that the Beanstalks are really important. We just recently got access to this, but this is, I think, very main deck. I think I'm submitting this main deck for the foreseeable future, until something else gets printed for the archetype. Which there are actually a few cards in the new set coming out that you can slot into the archetype, to be honest, but. For right now, I think the deck is somewhat solved. Does that mean it is the best deck in Modern? No. Does that mean it is 100% better than Amulet Titan? No. Although actually, I would prefer to play this over Amulet Titan right now, I think. But I think that this is the best version we've played. We've played a lot of the decks as well. Okay, so let's go. Areas to the 9 months. Think we'll come back. Magical to 39. And then we can go get a Amulet into Lotus into... Timeless Lotus. Dude, I just drink fucking beans, man. It's kind of fitting. I'm gonna go rinse my mouth out.
What's up? It's me, your friend, Aspiring Spike.
Okay, well, that's a good way to wake up in the morning. Hello, Cultivator Colossus. So, turn 1 Colony Garden could be Glimpse combo, it could be Yawgmoth combo, it could be, Titan. Probably Glimpse combo. What's the plan against fast decks? You are one of the fastest decks in the format. Your plan is to continue to be one of the fastest decks in the format. Okay, so I should actually play Gardens this turn, so that the next turn I can go, copy my Amulet, play Lotus Field, have 6 mana, use a floating green and the 2 green from Timeless Lotus to cast Cultivator Colossus. Maybe, I guess I don't have enough green to go Bean into Colossus. My opponent could also, I suppose, have a Force of Negation for my Timeless Lotus, which would be a bit of a problem. Do I have a second Lotus Field, though? Okay, they don't have it. So obviously, we didn't get to draw 3 cards off our Up the Beanstalk before, so we didn't have the green mana. Yeah, Colossus also enters and dies a lot of the time, but that is okay. Okay, so click done. Put this on the ability, the trigger last. Isn't Force weird out of Glimpse? I've seen Glimpse combo main deck Force many times. It may not be stock at the moment. I've definitely seen it. Okay, make it tap red again. Probably just want to be able to cast a second escape. Seems like we'll have more than enough green, huh? So let's pick up the Lotus Field, weirdly enough, and then Pick up Selesnya Sanctuary. Sack these two. Cast our Up the Beanstalk. Let's cast Stirrings. We'd like to find a Golos. We find a Amulet instead. So we have 6 draws here because we get to draw off the Up the Beanstalk to find something else that is giving us some action, and then Stirrings could find Golos. There is Emrakul though. I hope that this has answered your question. What do you do against fast decks? You hardcast Emrakul on turn 3. No Dodo deck slam. Thank you for your interest though. The extra Emrakuls on the sideboard are for Solitude Leyline Binding decks that can get rid of your first one. Glimpse combo, weird deck. I think they're somewhat likely to have disenchants and stuff post board. So I think I'm probably going to be bringing in my Welding Jars. I'm going to cut the Expedition map usually when I bring in the jars. I think I'm going to cut 1 Stirrings, 1 Bean. Could maybe cut 2 Beans. This is maybe just a matchup where we need to be quick. Yeah, so yeah, I don't know. It took me so long to like one thing is I thought Colossus was 8 mana, maybe. Not sure. But we've tried this is so frustrating because we've tried so many different other cards, but Colossus is just clearly the best option in that slot, and I think is it's just exactly what the deck needed. Yeah, I definitely always excited to have yesterday it took forever for us to draw X Champion in a matchup where we weren't up against like Affinity or Scales or Tron. But I do always love to game 1 show what we're doing here today. I just say this fights on different axes and Titan. I'm pretty intrigued of having this as a pivot depending on the meta. Yeah, I agree. I think that the Titan is potentially struggling with more so Solitudes than Unholy Heats at the moment. Yeah, it is a little bit different. Okay, this hand is not very good. We're on a mulligan to 6. It's going to go to 5. I would not mulligan to 5 so aggressively. This hand might actually be a reasonable 5. I wouldn't go to 5 so aggressively if I wasn't against such a linear deck. No, I mean, obviously we just have no turn 1 play. Let's just go to 4. Certainly putting back basic forest. I think we could probably just have to do this. Titan's a tough time with Cascade Beans. Yeah, this deck has I had pretty easy time against it. Too sad we could also win game 3, huh? Although we're also up against Glimpse combo, so sometimes they just cast Glimpse on turn 3 and lose. The Colossuses also do, so in the past I've played 2 Emrakuls in the main deck of these shells because, if you are up against a Solitude deck and your Emrakul gets Solitude, you just can lose. But I've only played 1 Emrakul when I had the Cavalier of Thorns in, because you get to just, put, 15 power in play on the same turn you cast Emrakul and, take your extra turn. And then the Colossuses have that same kind of edge of you may be able to. Oh, that's a funny draw. You may be able to Solitude my Emrakul, but I have 50 power in play. Fish Sauce, that's tier 1. Thank you. You're up against Glimpse combo. We won game 1. Now we're on a mull to 4. And we're gonna get Foundation Breakered again. They started paying costs. I don't know what else they can have. Maybe Risen Reef or something. They name Elf here. What elves do they have? Bloodbraid Elf? Ah, Nissa. What do you think? When will you do the best cards mix up for Modern? I'm working on it. It is taking more time than I expected because there's a lot to talk about. There's definitely a lot to talk about. I can. I ended up having to go to the doctor yesterday, so I didn't have much time to work on it today. But I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 22 slides. It'll probably be 25 slides. I'll all said and done. Alright, I think we're gonna see a glimpse here. This is pretty cool in glimpse. That being said, if they just glimpse into big board state without a lot of interaction, I'm gonna be able to escape next turn. Okay, so they're furying here so that they can have one extra permanent. They pitched a glimpse from tomorrow in their hands. They're gonna respond to this evoke trigger with Violent Outburst. 7 permanents. They do seem to be like the elementals build, so obviously we're hoping they don't hit another Foundation Breaker, and that's like mostly what we're hoping for. They did not hit another Foundation Breaker. They hit Omnath Solitude. Okay, but they shocked in Breeding Pool. What is shocking? Did they have another Cascade spell as their last card? I guess they're drawing a card off Omnath. The binding, I guess, is also a big problem here. They can also sack the clues, blah, 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 I guess. Yeah, I thought I updated the Moxfield extension. I guess I did not, so let me... Thank you, Moxfield. Thank you, cool stuff. We love you. Okay, so good news, I'm getting my amulet back. Bad news, this is like 10 permanents. Actually, I could probably concede to 10 Risen Reef triggers. Just go to game 3. That'll do it. That's good news. Okay, I'm gonna bring in a third Boseiju over a forest, seeing the bindings. They also have Solitude. Maybe I should be playing... Yeah, actually, sorry, I should have the second Emrakul. I think we'll be okay, though. Can mulligan this. No amulet. Sand has an amulet and has a way to copy it. Does not have a bounce land, but we can... Stirrings for a bounce land. Okay, so let's put back the Grazer. Gardens Amulet. Turn 2 copy, and then... I guess one problem is if we Stirrings into a bounce land, we're 1 mana short of amuleting. Still want to copy now, I think. We can also find Lotus Field. And if we can also draw a bounce line for turn. We got a lot of those in the deck. We have 13, including the Lotus Fields. And if we miss for a turn, we miss for a turn. They have turn 2 Foundation Breaker again, though. But we have another amulet. Okay, nice. So next turn we can win the game. Probably. Assuming they don't have another piece of interaction or glimpse into a good piece of interaction. Glimpse is a really good deck, huh? Jim played it last time on the Modern Super League. I'm facing off Jim in the quarterfinals tomorrow, the top 8 of Modern Super League. They should have blown up your Lama because if they binding the garden and you blow it up, it becomes a garden, not an amulet. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, the door has left the deck. I just like Karn is not as good, I think, as like these like Escape to the Wilds, Cultivator Colossus, and then also like being good is important too. Risen Reef, come on. Okay, Nissa, let's go. Let's go. They must have like multiple 3-drops there, so they can have a Force of Negation for my Timeless Lotus potentially, which would be less than ideal. They don't have one, however, which is good news. So if I go Golos into Lotus Field, I'm going to have 11 mana. It costs 7 mana to activate Golos, which means if I completely brick, I won't be able to spin Golos a second time, so it seems correct for me to just play my second Timeless Lotus now. Bat Scratcher, amazing username. Thank you for the 3 months. Or tier 1 at 3 months in advance. Very cool. You want to make green red here, so I can hit an Escape to the Wilds off like a Beanstalk draw. So we just did Up the Beanstalk. We hit a Lotus. Let me, I think, use this Golos as a cantrip slash ritual for 1. Nice. So now we have at least 2 more Golos spins, and we have a bean trigger off this Timeless Lotus. I guess I didn't need to cast that just yet, but... Well, we hit all lands. Okay, and then we hit Welding Jar, Timeless Lotus. But we get to spin Golos. This is 15 mana, so we could spin 2 more times. Another Beanstalk. The Grazer is going to let me make 9 mana here, so I think we do that now. This should be fine. It's blue, black, green. Might as well cast the Welding Jars. Welding Jar number 3. So we have 2 spins remaining. Grazer can't put in another Lotus, but can put in a Selesnya Sanctuary. Can't put in Gruul Turf. Okay, there's Emrakul. Draw 2 cards. So if they're not conceding, maybe they have Solitude here. Okay, they don't have Solitude. Okay. B_sent, thank you for... Yeah, we have played the Ring in this deck. I don't think this is a super good Ring deck. It's okay. It's, you know, it's time walk, draw 3, but it's not when you have more rings in the deck, it's harder to combo on your combo turns because you're not hitting things that like actively contribute to your combo, if that makes sense. Tron can play it. I mean, like, is it colorless? Then yeah, Tron can play it. Prismatic Vista, huh? Also playing an Odawara to bounce your big spells like Lotus or Cultivator gets more value. I don't hate that thought. Okay, let's not get turn 3 Blood Moon. Remember that your Mycosynth Gardens can, in fact, tap for green. Beanstalk is going to draw at least 3 cards next turn. Ooh, dodge the mountain. You don't know if they play mountain. Oh boy. So we're definitely going to play our Beanstalk before we start playing our 5 drops. So we reduce the chances of us fizzling. I think I'm just going to lead on Lotus Field. So if I cast Escape to the Wilds, I will have enough mana to play Timeless Lotus. So let's play this first so that we can draw another Amulet, which to make our Timeless Lotus better, if that's what we hit. Okay, we find a Beanstalk Cultivator. Yeah, we have won the game. As long as I don't cast Up the Beanstalk first and not have enough mana to keep going. One copy of Midnight Memories were golden sometimes. Emrakul is kind of the same thing, but like you could ramp into it and cast it when your storm count is lower, which is a pretty big deal. And you can it's like much better to Golos spin into. Yeah, Bean is really good in this deck. We were playing Bean in this deck before I think we really even realized just how crazy Up the Beanstalk was everywhere. Like, I mean, we knew it was a really good card, but it was still somewhat early into our Bean brewing session. And, like, I was pretty comfortable with, like, Up the Beanstalk being a great card in the shell. But as to, like... another amulet. As to, like, what the best build was something I was stuck on for a while, and now I feel that we figured it out. And one nice thing, too, is with the... Sorry, hold on. It's kind of hard to click and think. I do need to make sure I'm not decking myself, of course. I would also prefer to not wreck myself. I think I better... I mean, I don't know. This is going to be a pain. To some extent. Oh, right. Sorry. I was like... I'm like, we have a way to make sure we don't deck ourselves. Or we have a way to make sure that there's no Emrakul. The way is... Eventually we'll find an Ancient Stirrings, and we'll be able to put non-Emrakul cards on the bottom. Is how you stop yourself from not being able to find Emrakul. You need to make sure you stack Saga properly. I do not, actually. I have as much mana as I need. It is better to just click these. Turn 3, by the way. Can you right-click stack abilities automatically? Can I? I feel like when yeah, I have it like selected. Is Genesis Ultimate in this deck crazy? You just can't cast it. Yeah, I think I probably could have done less triggers. Since the updated State of Modern, I don't know. We have so many crazy screenshots of this deck, like activating Door to Nothingness on turn 2. What's the actual kill? We cast Emrakul and win the game. So again, because we have all these, we haven't found Emrakul in like the top, you know, bunch of cards or anything. We are going to need to be in a spot where we can... We have to make sure we don't deck ourselves. How you don't deck yourself is you are very deliberate with your Ancient Stirrings. We have 2 Ancient Stirrings left in our deck, and we can put non-Emrakul cards to the bottom. That being said, I think if our exact bottom 3 cards are Emrakul, Ancient Stirrings, we may be in trouble. Yeah, I'm currently up on time. Although it's just because my opponent was super late. Okay, I think that was Saga untapping. But yeah, it's just like, this is what Cultivator Colossus does in the deck. How have I not played it before? I feel so, you know, I say this a lot too, like, your best ideas, your best brewing ideas are like, wait, I haven't done this? Nobody's done this? Nobody's just played 4 Cultivator Colossus in this deck? I don't know how I missed it for so long. Okay, I'm gonna stop floating mana soon. I think another white mana is pretty valuable, though. Just for the Golos. The black mana is nice. Yeah, I'm just gonna not float mana. Just like 50 more triggers on the stack or something. This is all because he has the beans. We had beans last time, but we didn't have Cultivator Colossus, which was... Like, the beans were good, but, like, figuring out the best formula with beans was something I was really struggling with, and glad they took the time to work on it. Wait, they're not F6'd? That's why this is taking so long. DJ with the 23 months? Yeah, we actually have 4 Thassa's Oracle in the deck. I'm very worried about decking. I have decided to cut all the Emrakuls for Thassa's Oracles. Just clicking. Okay. Jace is better. Well, the thing is, Emrakul is way better to, like, hit off Golos, right? That's the thought. I think I'm actually gonna just say no. Oh, sorry. You have to be very deliberate with these Ancient Stirrings. We hit both Stirrings here. So, 1, we can just find Emrakul now. Ding, ding, ding. So we don't have 17 points of power in play. I think I'm just going to not play around my Enchantress opponent having a main deck Solitude. Which I could do by, like, you know, putting a couple Cultivator Colossuses into play. But I think maintaining the integrity of my clock seems nice. We also get to make, you know, a bunch of constructs. Yeah, still up on time. Isn't Solitude today when F6? I mean, my opponent showed up like 3 minutes and didn't F6. They didn't Solitude my, I guess why would they Solitude Golos? I don't know. It just seems so unrealistic for them to have it. I've never seen main deck Solitude in Enchantress. Maybe it's good. Maybe it's like randomly good. I prefer to not be super scared of monsters in the closet. This for the Boseiju. Yeah, they just want to see. They're just not familiar with the combo. ZZ the 10 months. She come off with the 12. Happy anniversary. So we have a Force of Vigor against Enchantress on a 7-card hand. We don't really have anything else. I'm usually not in the business of keeping these kind of hands in this deck. You just, like, need an amulet really badly. Although maybe on 7 we keep a hand like this, or 6 we keep a hand like this. So it could actually develop mana, which is nice. We have a Beanstalk. We have a Garden when we draw a Saga or Amulet to copy it. Set this. Alright, so they're going to need to draw a lot of cards if we don't find a Force of Vigor. So not much I can really do with the rest of my mana. Does feel like they're very likely to have some piece of interaction here, but if they don't, we are going to untap and win. Does the B make the deck better versus Blood Moon? I don't think it makes it much better against Blood Moon, but it like lets you like cantrip into your like Boseijus and Force of Vigor is a little bit better, I guess. One nice thing, of course, is we now get to like just play our Lotus Field, and as soon as we can find a Boseiju or Force of Vigor, of 3 Boseiju, 4 Force of Vigor, we're going to be in interesting shape. So let's go ahead and cast the Grazer so that we can Timeless Lotus next turn. Yeah, that's the other thing about Karn, too, is like you get a real sideboard, which is something I didn't even talk about when talking about the pros and cons versus Karn. Why not first play Gruul Turf? Lotus Field taps for 3 mana, and Gruul Turf taps for 2. I don't know. I mean, we only have 1 Lotus in play. Alright, so Hexproof Blood Moon. Tough to beat. I wish I saw that Emrakul in my hand. Them having a Sanctum Weaver, that's likely going to mean I can't come back next turn. Actually, it's Shroud, not Hexproof. Alright, let's go to game 3. We could have kept that 7. I don't know. I just didn't do anything besides have a Force of Vigor. I like the sideboard play. Let's run it back for now. Yeah, on the play. Triple Gardens. No payoff. No Amulet. Let's mulligan. Okay, I like this one well enough. Back second Boseiju. So we want to dodge Utopia Sprawl into Blood Moon. But I guess now if they go Sprawl on Temple Garden into Blood Moon, they at least lose the Sprawl. They just have Abundant Growth instead anyways, which is good. So they're not going to stop. Blood Moon will not stop me from getting an Amulet into play off the Saga this game. That being said, I do need to draw a payoff. Utopia Sprawl on white. Passing the turn. So this is a payoff. I have to use my Lotus Field, though, to deploy Golos, and I'm pretty cold to what seems to be Blood Moon. Should have a green card in my hand. Make things a little bit easier. I could Golos for a basic forest here, which is so weird. Have to use my Lotus Field. Feels weirdly correct. I don't like it that much. But it does, like, they didn't have Sithis on turn 2. It seems like they, like, mostly just kept because they can Blood Moon me. Oh. You could hold up Gruul Turf. Not if I copy Amulet, but yeah, I could bounce my Gardens and... yeah, do that. Still think I get Forest. Could get another Saga. But I have a Saga in my hand. I kind of think they're still going to Blood Moon me. Okay, they did not Blood Moon me. Which I guess I can't be too upset about. Okay, actually, I like being on the nice. This will, you know, me getting another Golos trigger is nice. I suppose we want to draw a green card. That is a green card. So it's on their upkeep, force Anthonyce and Enchantress's presence. Do I get another Saga? Thing is, if I get another Saga, I'm not activating it again. I kind of think I just get a Gruul Turf. It's like, you know, card advantage. Yeah, also weaker to Blood Moon. But I think if they had Blood Moon last turn, they probably should have played that instead of Anthonyce, but we'll see. Whenever you cast a enchantment spell, create a white Spirit Cleric token power toughness equal to the spirits you control. Okay, I guess we're Boseiju that. I could have also got another Boseiju maybe last turn. I had to read that card last time I saw it also. Kind of classic, both players draw a Force of Vigor kind of game. Got 2 cards. Any enchantments? So I did board out my expedition map, which I do a lot of the time. Would have been kind of nice to have here. They got 1 card left in their hand. Gonna have a Courser's Accord. Six mana for 2 3/3s. Two 4/4s next turn, I guess. I'll play my Gruul Turf and pick up the Forest so that if I draw a Cultivator Colossus, I can cast it, I guess. So it doesn't seem like they had any castable enchantments in their hand, but of course their whole deck is castable enchantments, so I kind of need to draw land this turn. You have another Force of Vigor, maybe. Okay, of all the enchantments they could draw, that may be the best one for us. Plays a land. 1 card in hand. Probably a spell if they're not passing the turn, right? Maybe Force of Vigor then. I think that would make some sense. That being said, it doesn't feel super realistic to like try to play around that card, and I'm a little bit bummed. I'm only getting these up to 5/5s. If I had still had a bounce land in my hand, I could have got Boseiju here maybe. We could just start spinning Golos next turn. Get Gardens, make them 6. If I get Gardens, I can't copy anything, right? Ooh, Dusty Spinner's interesting. Because I have 1 mana, but I can't... That's from the untapped Gardens. I can't copy constructs. It's not token. Babe Biscuit, 23 months. Thank you. Could have been still good to get Gardens. Just pick up more mana next turn. How big are these enchantments? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, not quite super relevant. Force of Vigor, targeting Timeless Lotus and targeting Construct, though. Pretty relevant. That being said, they have to block both of these, and they played in a way that they don't have this up on defense, which is a big deal. I guess if they have like a Boseiju, it is super relevant for me to play Timeless Lotus first. Well, I guess I could have still made a construct. Update list for blue-black, Murktide, Snapcaster deck. No. But you can find a million awful Grixis and blue-black decks on there, and you can find some awful ones in my stream deck too. I've been getting the hankering to Snapcaster Flame of Anor again, so you can maybe expect to see some of that at some point. I don't think they could ever really have two Antonice in their hand, right? They would have cast one of them last turn. I have, another token if they do. Yeah, very cool game 3. Like, getting double Force of Vigor and winning is always a exciting thing, but also we're playing against another deck that's weak to Force of Vigor, so scrappy game. We need a payoff and we need a bounce land, but we have a Stirrings to hopefully find one or the other, and we have we actually get to draw a card every turn also, which is pretty sick. Bounce land better than Lotus Field because of the Grazers, for sure. Remember the Gardens can tap for green, a very easy thing to forget. Can tap for any color, with the low cost of one other mana. My opponent's played a Scalding Tarn and passed. Okay, there's a payoff. One of the best draws, really. Alright, got a lot of bounce lands in the deck. Guess Spell Pierce is a legal card also. For some reason. Feel okay about this though. We are in a spot where if we can, as soon as we draw a bounce land, or even a Lotus Field, we are going to be in winning position. But we're going to be in a winning position against a deck that plays counter spells. Urza Saga could be a good draw. Why the choice of Cultivator Colossus replace Storm Festival? It's better. It's the best thing in slot by a lot. I know it's one more mana, but it just wins the game immediately almost every time. That'll be $5 a month for the rest of your life. Ding 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 ding. Grazer, literally Black Lotus here. Budget edition. Is main deck? I think main deck subtlety is a little bit more common than main deck force these days. Don't think it really matters a ton either way though. I guess I just should get another bounce land. Well. I was thinking maybe about getting like an Urza Saga and like playing Grazer. I think it's just not super reasonable to play around the Force Negation really hard, and better to get more Golos spins. So I want to play the Grazer here so that I can definitely get 2 spins. So we had a Grazer and an Ancient Stirrings. I'm going to cast the Stirrings now. I can find another Amulet. Timeless Lotus is good though. So I'll play this now. I guess I want to Grazer again because you want to keep your like Esper colors or like whatever colors of mana are hard to get for Golos, floating in that pool, in that dark pool. Mimsky with the 23 months. Thank you. Yeah, it's like always the one on the right. Sometimes you get a little paranoid that I'm going to click the wrong Timeless Lotus. Also, imagine if Timeless Lotus wasn't legendary. What a utopia. So we bricked on that one pretty bad. Another Amulet and an Ancient Stirrings. Guess we are done, unfortunately. That being said, we have a ton of mana, and we have the ability to spin Golos if my opponent doesn't Unholy Heat it this turn, but they don't currently have Delirium if they do have Unholy Heat. They do have Delirium. You could have bounced Lotus with your first Grazer and played untapped to make another Amulet. Yeah, but that costs a whole land drop. I don't know that it's actually super profitable, right? Because the land drop is like -4 mana and then minus another 2 mana to like tap the Gardens and tap the Amulet, so -6 total. Does that let me go off? I don't think so. Yeah, it's very rare that it's correct to bounce Gardens for Amulet in my experience. I think that there are probably some weird situations. Are we okay to jump here, right? We have 3 of them. Famous last words, maybe. Lux Capacitor with the 4 months. Thank you. Welcome back. So if you didn't have a Preordain, they they do have like a million looks for one. Or sorry, Preordain, Unholy Heat. But if they use it this turn, we can top deck a payoff. They do keep a card on top. Could keep Counterspell maybe, but I think they're probably bottoming any non-Unholy Heat card if they didn't already have one. Interesting. So I can't currently spin the Golos. I did draw another Golos. Why wouldn't it be okay to jump there? I think I play at Murktide, right? Or Ragavan. It is okay to jump there. I'm just, thinking out loud mostly. And you're inside my brain. Okay, they have let me on top of Golos, which is very nice of them. So we didn't escape to the wild. Let's go and cast that. Can pay for Spell Pierce. Oh, there's an Emrakul. Oh wait, that costs 15 though. Why not play 1 Simic Growth Chamber? I think it's better to have 4 Selesnya Sanctuary so that your Leyline of Sanctities are more castable. It is very, very rare that you're going to Golos for your missing color of mana. You're almost always just going to Golos for Lotus Field instead if you're missing a single color. Could have, kept going, but we're up against Murktide. They just can't beat a hardcast Emrakul on turn 4. There are some decks that can. Murktide is not one of them. I'm going to hardcast my Emrakul. Updated State of Modern. Counterspell on my Emrakul. Subtlety? I mean, if they Subtlety, I can easily cast the Emrakul next turn. I have 5 plus 12. Yeah, the fact that they didn't counterspell the escape is pretty funny, for whatever that's worth. So against decks that just have Blood Moon, like Murktide has 2 Blood Moons. I don't really want to bring in Force of Vigor. I usually just bring in 3rd Boseiju and cut the Expedition map, or cutting map is weird, so maybe I just cut Rot Farm. Yeah. Usually I cut the extra one or whatever. Although I guess I shouldn't be cutting Rot Farm. I should be cutting Sanctuary since I don't actually have any white cards in the deck. No Leyline of Sanctities. Don't need more than 1 Emrakul. Needle for Explosives actually is correct to bring in, though. You're really never going, Saga for map for Boseiju, but map for Boseiju in general can be good. I think Stirrings for Boseiju can be good. Maybe kind of Colossus. Kind of okay with that. The, most expensive payoff. Makes kind of sense to trim against the counterspell deck, maybe. Oh, I mean... This is you need this one, but I get that one is a little bit more expensive, I guess. Yeah, I think I agree. Holding up, people don't know how to play against these kind of decks. Hold up the counterspell for the Titan, I guess, was their thought. Okay, I'm gonna do a drink real quick while we wait. We're back.
What's up? It's me, your friend Aspiring Spike. 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 What's up? It's me, your friend Aspiring Spike.
Poor Esther. Okay, just has to hear this while I go down. Probably putting back second Gardens. Ah! Everything about brew with mirror and safe house. Yeah, there's a combo with it that's kind of fun. So if you have, you need a lot of lands in your graveyard. So one is you need Urborg in your graveyard, and then you also need to have like 5 swamps in play or something, which is already asking a lot. But if you do, you have Urborg in your yard, 5 swamps or something, then then you need a Boro in your graveyard so you can bounce your mirror and safe house and like make infinite mana where you're like tapping your Urborg. Okay. Game 3. Alright. Ragavan Blood Moon on the play. We'll just go to game 3. Maybe they wouldn't have brought in explosives. I think I still bring in the needle. Okay. Maybe I have a draft. It is kind of fun. It's one of these brews that I think is just too underpowered to bring to the stream. But very fun. Okay, this is not it. Oh, no, it is. I have it in the sideboard. Okay, so here's the combo. So you need enough mana. I can't remember how much mana it is, but you need enough mana to like activate your Coffer's safe house and then bounce your safe house with a Boro and then replay it. Replay it with the Coffer's mana and the net mana every time you do this loop. So you make infinite black mana. Then you need a way to have red mana in the yard. So you make infinite black mana, then you make a red. And then during your loop, you Statinza Blood Haul your opponent every time. It's a ton of clicks. But it is cool that like you can like potentially Realms Uncharted or Gifts Ungiven and get these cards in the yard. Gaia Reach is also like if you like Gifts Ungiven or Realms Uncharted and they put one of these into your like I guess in theory this is your Realms Uncharted pile. To where if they put one of these in your hand, you can loot them away with Gaia Reach. But I guess if they put Gaia Reach in this in your hand, you're fucked. So I don't know. But I have this is one of these like I'm not bored enough to play yet on stream. Double Beanstalk is really nice. This is kind of a weird hand, but I actually love it against Murktide. And I'm going to deploy the Grazer turn 1 so I can both stop them from having an effective Ragavan and play Beanstalk on turn 2. Yeah, there's a new Vesuva for graveyard stuff. Breathe, haha. This is one of my least favorite comments I can get. This guy gets so self-conscious about my breathing. With peace and love. So maybe they have Bolt in their deck still. Bolt in the deck confirmed. Flips the Timeless Lotus. Would have been actually okay pickup here. Triggers Beanstalk and gets me colored mana and lots of mana through a Blood Moon. Oh, well. Got my wish. So I don't find a bounce land. I think I just take Golos. I could take backup Boseiju. I could play Urza Saga, but I think that plays into Blood Moon a little bit too hard. I kind of need the extra payoff anyways. Why is Needle still in? It wasn't in game 1. I boarded it in. I boarded it in against Engineered Explosives. Big J with the 11 months. Thank you. Welcome back. Excited to send you newest remember with Souls of the Lost. I'm excited too. Sounds very fun. My goal is to have the new video up by Friday. It's a very busy week. I have the Modern Super League top 8. I have a lot of personal stuff going on, but I'm working on it. Maybe play this first because of Spell Pierce. Probably was better. Deck for Super League. I don't. Not that I would think the gym would be sniping. I'm not 100% sure yet, but I'm pretty sure I know what I'm gonna play. But deck lists are due in like 5 hours or something. Down to think through new set cards with you on stream. Yeah, maybe. I usually like to do all the work off stream because I get to like really think about my presentation and stuff. But we already do that. Talk about the new cards. Play Stock Scam. I think that's maybe the one deck no one would put me on. Stock Scam. Surely Spike, the hero of Modern. Come on, another Grazer. I guess let's not play it. Would not play Stock Scam. And those people would be right. Or would they? What's just need to draw a bounce land, huh? Of course, that's the one thing Ragavan exiled. It's okay though. That you play mono black, no coffers, lock it in. It's on my list for sure. One thing I really like about me playing mono black, no coffers is I get to like dodge all of the hate everyone's gonna bring for me, all of the stupid like stony silences. Alright, let's copy an amulet end of turn. And what's really cool here is like obviously they have counter magic, but because I have a beanstalk in play, anything they counter is gonna be a nice 2-for-1 for me. If I do draw my bounce land at some point. Yeah, Lotus Field a little awkward for sure. I think I do lead on the Timeless Lotus, since I can pay for Spell Pierce. It's not that awkward, I just don't have Forest in play anymore. I can also find a bounce land and still play my Golos after this off the Beanstalk draw if they do counter my Timeless Lotus. They also may not counter Timeless Lotus because it's just mana. I did find the bounce land. Interesting developments. Interesting. Interesting. Beanstalk is so good in this deck. So good in this deck. Surely they have a counter spell though. Maybe they have Spell Pierce and they just can't use it. Well, also they just didn't counter this one in game 1. I'll pay 2. Wait, we're really thinking about double Spell Pierce? Okay, fair. Okay, your turn. If they don't have a heat, they're in not good shape, but it would make sense for them to have heat. They're pretty flooded. Beanstalk was the missing piece of Timeless Amulet. So that's so bad, I guess. Cultivator Colossus was the missing piece. We already had Beanstalk. This was something we figured out recently. Not like the most recent thing ever, but it was, something we have streamed with before. And yeah, let's just get Saga and play Saga. But finding the best shell around that was tricky. And I think that I was struggling a lot with some of these last few spots and specifically what is that our complement card? Let's play around Bolt, I guess, but not attacking. I love Escape to the Wilds. I love Golos. These are the best two. There's just not something that, or I didn't think there was something that was as good as those. But Colossus is just, it's something we should have always had in the deck, and it also plays well with the Bean plan because your hand is just so full. Helps stay full for Colossus. Just does everything. Finally, I see Fair Saga plan. So we beat Enchantress last game. Comes up maybe more often than you might think. Usually these like interactive games. You're looking at Utopia Sprawl, last time we played deck. I've never looked at Utopia Sprawl for this deck. You are confusing the card, or confusing me, or confusing me with someone else. Not Utopia Sprawl. Oh yeah. Sorry, yeah, not Utopia Sprawl. Yes, Urban Evolution. That's what you're talking about. Urban Evolution was okay, but it was like also the worst one I've played at the same time. Yeah. I know what all my chatters mean. I can read all of your minds. Can you keep hands without amulets or stirrings? You need a hand usually that contains an amulet, an ancient stirrings, or a saga, which is most of your hands, to be fair. Okay, they got no cards left in their hand. Can cast Emrakul next turn. I think we'll have 3 amulets. 3 plus 9. Oh, I guess we're a little short. Okay. Playing anything from RTR block as a win. I also love RTR block. It's just the Magic's best era ever. So we drew an amulet for turn. So now I think we have exactly 15, right? Assuming we have 2 more amulets to search up, which I think we do. 1 in yard, 1 in hand, none in exile. Don't think there's any other surprise zones. Float a mana. Cast an amulet, copy an amulet. 3 amulets in play. 4 amulets in play, yeah. It should be good. But I may be a little surprised to not see me make constructs, although I'm sure they can infer that it means we got them dead. Could also spin Golos a bunch. I'm gonna cast an Emrakul. Trigger Up the Beanstalk. Feels pretty good for our first match was a Force of Vigor matchup. Our second match was a Force of Vigor Blood Moon matchup, and our third match was a Blood Moon post-board matchup. You know, which are historically what you struggle with the most as Timeless Lotus are those cards. Opponent can double chomp and die next turn. Yeah, I guess I could attack with the Grazer since they have to double chomp. Didn't see the line. Okay, I'm just gonna not even bother to play my Saga. And not only did we play against Force of Vigor opponents, they drew it. Oh, I guess my Gloom's opponent drew Foundation Breakers, not Force of Vigor. Maybe they run that instead. Times at the same turn. Okay, this hand's pretty good. Yeah, I need to keep Lotus over Gruul Turf, so I can have 6 mana turn 3 instead of 4 with this hand. Okay, Scales is a matchup that is pretty dang good for us. They just don't have really any interaction for you. I guess they can have Force of Vigor's post board, which I usually do when I play Scales. So I guess winning game 1 will be important, maybe. Flagstones. I mean, it's just you can't really like build that deck with a bunch of planes. I think. Yeah, the deck's very cool, but not that good. I guess they could kill me turn 3 on the play, maybe. That would probably do it. Yeah, so the way it works is you eventually like draw your deck in theory, and then you're gonna get to a spot where you have Zurid Orb in play, and then you can Conjurer's Bauble, put Splendid Wreck or Faith's Reward on the bottom of your library with Conjurer's Bauble, and then draw it off the Conjurer's Bauble, sack your Sunscorched Desert to your Zurid Orb, and then just do that infinite times, and it's infinite clicks, and regret your decision to play the deck. Ooh, that's a great draw. Discuss the deck with Ashanti as well. The cute combo is to use Mirror Pool to lose Splendid Wreck. Yeah, I think Ashanti messaged me that too. I don't know. I I did spend, like you can see, I spent some time trying to build it. You know, I have a couple flex spots, but I don't really want to work on it too much more. If anyone could figure it out, it's you and Ashanti, bub. Flying. Got white mana floating. Okay. The new cave. Yeah, the caves are cool. I have I'm probably not finished with the cave slides for the PowerPoint. I actually think that this card, Consummate Confluence, could be pretty cool, and like basically just in Timeless Lotus. But you have some interesting piles you can get, including like Echoing Deeps to copy a Lotus Field that you played to cast this, which I think is kind of interesting. And then talking about Sunken Citadel. I thought I had one more cave slide. Oh, I guess I talked about this a little bit. Maybe there's one more. I do really like Mirror Pool. Mirror Pool is a card I've always dreamed about registering. Okay, so I have 6 mana at first, so I can't quite go Beanstalk into Timeless Lotus this turn, or at least not first. I can go Timeless Lotus 11 mana into Golos, draw a card. Yeah, I think I can play the Beanstalk after the Lotus, and I think it makes sense. It's going to draw me at least 3 cards, even being played second this turn. I guess Escape is probably something I play first, since it's also basically -1 mana. So I had another Beanstalk, I had another Golos, and I had an Ancient Stirrings. So Golos is +1 mana and +1 card if I just use it as a ritual. I think I should cast a Stirrings looking for a Amulet or a Timeless Lotus, though. Just find a Boseiju. Should I play another Beanstalk? I think I should. I've never really done this where I'm just like ritual Golosing, but I think it makes like a weird amount of sense on this turn where I have double Beanstalk, double Golos, triple Golos now. I do have 3 Lotus Fields left in the deck, so all of these are going to be basically +1 mana, draw a card, or draw 2 cards, which is pretty dang good. And then I can Stirrings before I play the second Golos, digging for a Timeless Lotus or Amulet again. Don't find either again. I have to graveyard 2 of the Colossus, which kind of stinks. Uh-oh. Could also Boseiju this turn. It's also kind of bad if I draw my last Lotus Field off these bean draws, but okay, there's an Escape, and there's a Timeless Lotus. Okay, huge. So we want to Escape to the Wilds first again, since it's easier to have your Wooburg mana for Golos spin, post Timeless Lotus, and of course we could also find another Amulet. Should make things a little bit easier, maybe. Okay, Colossus makes things a lot easier. We did find another Amulet and a Grazer and a Timeless Lotus. Should be in great shape here. Now we just have to actually win the dang game. this shouldn't be allowed. You know, it is maybe my express goal on the stream to get that comment in the chat. This shouldn't be allowed. We have a lot of, you know, this deck kills on turn 3 so consistently for a deck that most people consider to be a meme too, which I always think is so funny. Not saying people are wrong exactly, but this is the craziest meme modern deck you ever dang seen. I also I think I'm just gonna not even cast this Colossus. It's just too many triggers. Obviously, it's nice to have, but I should be able to find my Emrakul off the Golos spins. Remember that when you want to make sure that the Emrakul is not on the bottom of your library. You want to be able to, you want to be like using those Ancient Stirrings to either dig for your Emrakul or put non-Emrakul cards to the bottom on these kind of turns. Although I guess I should maybe play this now, so I could just be spinning Golos for the rest of time. Yeah, Colossus, it's just too many triggers for the Colossus right now. It's just more of a pain to click through than this. Right, there it is. So they have 6 permanents in play. How many land drops do I have? I guess I don't really want to. I could play Escape to the Wilds for another land drop, but then I have 3 cards left in my library, which is maybe fine. I'm just kind of thinking about this Boseiju. I think I'm thinking too long about it. I'll just Boseiju next turn. Play Colossus and don't put any lands out. I mean, I have no lands in play currently, so it just dies. I agree that trying to figure out like the best, like fastest kill is kind of valuable, but usually the fastest kill is just like attack it with Emrakul. Don't even like need to Boseiju. Like usually it's just faster to not do that, right? Okay, so sideboarding is kind of weird, where like obviously I want the playset of Force of Vigors. I want the extra Boseiju. I can kind of force for Boseiju pretty easy in this matchup. Beyond that, they're also going to have Force of Vigors of their own a lot of the time, but not every time, and they're also going to have Haywire Mites. Needle for Haywire Mite is kind of nice. I'm going to play Needle over Map, I think, and then I'm going to cut the Beans for Forces in this matchup. And click Submit. Kind of weird. But kind of weird to like not bring in any Welding Jars against the deck that might have Force of Vigor. Extra Emrakuls are for Bean and Blue-White Control, and like I guess in theory any other Solitude deck. Oh, I forgot to do a trophy prediction. I'm just gonna get that going now. So this prediction is to win this match and the next one. So just consider that we're up a game against Scales with 4 Force of Vigor when you're voting here. Oh, I think I keep. I don't think I have it in my heart to mulligan a 7-card Force of Vigor double Amulet hand. Do I have the heart knowing that I only have 13 draws that allow me to play a game here? I mean, any of them. I guess not Urza Saga. Urza Saga is a good draw, but it's not like that in a bounce land. I just don't think I can mulligan double Amulet, Force of Vigor, green cards, 7 cards. Yeah, I think we actually do keep here. When we're up against Scales and we have Force of Vigor too. Send it back. I think it's a keep. I think it's a very interesting keep. These double Amulet hands are also just so nuts. Big yikes. Yeah. Oh, okay. I mean now we're off to the races as soon as we draw the land. We'd have to discard though. Yes, I think I discard the Timeless Lotus. Yeah, I think it's correct. I'm going to Force of Vigor on this turn, so I don't have to go to discard anymore. I think we pitched the Ancient Stirrings, since we already have the bounce land. Basically, you know, that's what we'd be searching for. Or not, the, you know, Timeless, whatever. Not the land or the 12 lowest specimens. But the thing is, if we draw one of these, it's fine, because we still need one of these, right? At some point. And my opponent has 3 cards in their hand. After being Force of Vigor is just such an insane speed bump for them. Like, me having a Force of Vigor means I probably have like 5 or 6 draws at this land. So yeah, we had a Force of Vigor, a Gruul Turf, and an Ancient Stirrings. So I'm just gonna cast my second Escape, I think. We have another Escape, which I think I need to save for next turn. So I could Force of Vigor the Ozolith. I think I'm going to play Boseiju as a land, and then Ancient Stirrings. Take another Amulet. Pass the turn. Escape is a crazy card. They had no play here, which is kind of dangerous. Or scary, because maybe that means they have a Force. So maybe I should have played Lotus Field first to make sure I have that 9 mana. But in theory, you want to escape to the wilds first. You could find another Amulet for your Lotus turn. Okay, so 1 mana floating, extra land drop. Okay, we did find the extra Amulet. We'll be able to spend these Goloses a bunch. We can cast Stirrings before we do anything else. I'm going to start making Esper colors, I think. You gotta be comfortable sacrificing all your lands if you're going to play Timeless Lotus. This is a very difficult thing to get super comfy with, but... Saw some person playing Urban Evolution. Yeah, that was our last stream deck. We had Urban Evolution and Escape to the Wilds over the Cultivator Colossus on stream last time we played the deck with the beans. But the Colossuses are like so much better. It's kind of obscene. I'm sure we had like one chatter that was like, "Please, Spike, play Cultivator Colossus. I'm undefeated at F&M. Please read my comment." And I probably yelled at them. I was like, wait, do I not have any Sagas left? I mean, I'm not gonna... I mean, my opponent isn't conceding. Fine, I'll spin the Golos again. Oh, there's a Colossus. I can't, it's too many triggers. Getting the second Saga in play is kind of all the insurance we need. Although I don't know if there's even like a card you can have off Boseiju Gemstone Caverns that is going to get you out of this spot. Solitude white card out of Scales. Yeah, Storm the Festival. We've played Storm the Festival. The thing is, the problem I always have with Storm is that the only like card advantage you can hit off of it is Golos. Like it plays poorly with Escape to the Wilds. So I tried Storm with Cavalier, like the mono green Devotion tech and Pioneer or whatever, Obviously should have made some tokens in a turn. I guess that's not actually that obvious. You are already dead. But this has been the best build, I think. Storm of the Festival is nice. If Escapes the Wilds was a permanent, I think that I would be playing Storm of the Festival over Colossus. What'd you get for Colossus Beanstalk? Beanstalk over like the Explore package, and then I had a lot of different things over the Colossus. Colossus is the best of like the Urban Evolution / Karn / One Ring / anything. Okay, so we are 4-0. There's already a trophy prediction live. We have Lucy hanging out during the trophy match. And to say the least. I might, because we can't play Boseiju, or we can't play Beanstalk off the green mana from Gardens next turn. So I might Boseiju into Beanstalk and then get an Amulet, then play Gardens, Beanstalk again. Beanstalk better or Karn? I think Beanstalk's better. Like you know, very very simple. Like this is what's nuts about Beanstalk. The card is 2 mana, so if you have multiple copies in your opening hand, you're happy. If you have multiple copies of Karn in your opening hand, you're mulliganing. A lot of the time. That's kind of like very simply like why it's so good. Yeah, against like Seachrome Cross Preordain. I guess maybe this is Adnaz. It is Adnaz. Maybe I should have played Gardens. I also have to like draw a bounce land, so like playing the beans is kind of nice. But this is likely to be a turn 4 kill, which is, you know, is that good? Is that fast enough against Adnaz on the play these days? Don't actually know. Ooh. Well, yeah, we're gonna have a turn 4 for sure. Cast Phyrexian on life. Maybe not for sure. Feel unlikely. Yeah, I'm getting Lotus anyway, so just pick up the bounce land. Alright, Timeless Lotus making it. Ooh. Okay. That'll stop me. Does it really matter what we get? I guess I get just back up bounce land in case I accidentally Lotus Field or something. We are casting Emrakul next turn, if they don't have another Pact of Negation for my Timeless Lotus. They could go Spoils into Oracle here. They have 5 cards in their hand. Oh, fuck. Yep. Nice. Don't really know what ad nauseum sideboards look like these days. It's probably like a lot of like Teferis and Leylines and stuff. Probably not a lot of disenchants. Their disenchants are like often gonna be exile based, so Welding Jar doesn't matter. Force of Vigor could be okay. We have Boseiju too. I'm gonna play a Boseiju over 3rd Basic Forest. So I can like Boseiju, Lotus Bloom in their upkeep. It's not that much. If the Oracle gets Solitude on D2, it's no win. They do if they have no cards in their library, which is usually the case. Ad nauseam and a Grief scam meta is definitely a choice. It's probably a little bit better against it than you think. But probably not favored. Can you name Ginsto Mine into Needle, or is it considered a mana? It is a mana ability. Okay, Mulligan. Needs some fast hands. This matchup for sure. This hand certainly qualifies. Would think we just put back Stirrings. Although I like that we can cast the Stirrings turn 2. So we're going to have... We have enough to Colossus. Yeah, let's just put back the Golos. Happy enough hitting a Golos, Amulet, Land, or Timeless, like anything off the Stirrings. Again, probably looking for a land so that the Colossus does the most. The second Colossus is pretty interesting. Yeah, I guess with second Colossus we definitely just pick any land. Lotus Field? No, I went Sanctuary because so I can put in 2 bounce lands and put them back in with the Colossus. At what point do you just play Titan? So again, what do we do if we cast Titan in this deck? We have no Teleria West, we have no Summer's Pact, we have no Hasteland, we have no Boros Garrison, we have no Valakut, no Dryad. Like Titan is like, you know, the Titan deck is completely built around Titan. And obviously, like, that has been a successful and, you know, good formula for a long time. But the deck, when you don't just completely build your deck around Titan, the possibilities and your card quality goes way up, and you get to be way more, in a lot of ways, streamlined. Is kind of a funny thing to say about this deck, but just don't have like a lot of random stuff. Oh boy. Nick with the 9 months, thank you. It was in the graveyard because we had no lands in play when we cast it. I'm just casting another one after Stirrings. Kind of want. I think you want to. It's weird to say this, but I think you kind of just want to cast Colossus before you got too many lands in your hand, so you can like reasonably click through the triggers over the course of a game. Like this will be enough for sure. But also, like, very simply put, why not Titan? Colossus, like, this is much better than a Titan could ever be in this deck. And it is 1 more mana, but... I just, you know, this is, again, your best ideas always come with this thought. How did I not do this sooner? How did I not put Cultivator Colossus in this deck sooner? I thought I stacked this rule. I don't really care about the Saga triggers though. We'll be fine without our extra Colossus mana, 2 Colossus mana. We'll be casting Emrakul on the play turn 3. This is probably like our 7th turn 3 Emrakul this league or something. I'm so tiny, no. It's funny how small the Colossus gets. Right, so I don't think they can beat this Emrakul. Does the 3 CMC Excellent Enchantment have a place in the deck? So what's kind of cool is you can still choose for your lands to enter tapped if you play that card. Something I saw online yesterday. At the moment, I don't think I'd play it over the Up the Beanstalks, but maybe it would be better there. This is what the world will look at without Please decks. Yeah, I mean, I think, like, people always talk about, like, the 0 mana cards and stuff. Like, the presence of Force of Vigor is a big part of the reason why this deck is not super duper dominant. That being said, we did beat 2 Force of Vigor decks this league. Right, Lucy? We got Force of Vigor twice by Enchantress. For your information, you can't choose it for all of them. You can put untapped lands to play with Colossus, and those enter untapped. Oh boy. Why is it like that? So the draw, I feel like I really want a turn 3 kill. This is not a turn 3 kill, so I guess I mulligan. You can't choose for all of them. If you put untapped lands to play with Colossus, they enter untapped. Yeah, so why can't I choose to have those enter tapped? Okay, I'll keep this hand. I think I put back Second Escape. The land has to say enters tapped on it to be able to enter tapped. So you're saying that if I put Boseiju into play off Cultivator Colossus, it will enter untapped. But if I put in Simic Growth Chamber, it'll enter tapped still. Or I can choose for it to enter tapped. Okay, opponent's on a mulligan to 5, which is good news. I see. Alright, it's a good pickup. It lets me use my stirrings to dig for another amulet or gardens to copy amulet, which is nice. Although, I guess now that's definitely what I'm doing. We do find another amulet, which is big news. So we need some help. My opponent mulled to 5, and then they used a mana to interact with me, so it's, their combo is like 3 cards, so they're missing a lot, I think. And then next turn we can go Timeless Lotus into Escape, and then have the Lotus Field available to play. I could maybe win next turn. But it suspends Profane Tutor, which is huge news for me. Kind of surprised those are like even still in the deck, maybe. I could even take this turn off to Bean. Seems unwise. We're gonna need to like hit another amulet. Oh well, we did hit another amulet and a grazer. Okay. So if I go Lotus Field 3 mana, play amulet. I'm still a little short. So let's not blow up all of our own lands just yet. Although here if there's a lot I can stirrings into. Yeah, I should probably play this Lotus Field. I can stirring into Timeless Lotus or Golos and just keep going. Don't need those lands anyways. Although is it correct to play the Timeless Lotus now? Because I can just guarantee Emrakul next turn if I wait. If I play it this turn, I have to hit off my draw. Yeah, I guess I have to wait. Although I would have hit. Do I Boseiju anything? Surely they play Boseiju targets. Let's not. How's this game matchup? It's okay. A lot of scam players are like just not main decking Blood Moons right now, or like not main decking a lot. So right now, I think it's better than it always will, or than it will be other times potentially. I mean, Unlife doesn't matter at all. Jim's so mine to cut off colored mana. I mean, I don't know, maybe. I feel like they'll be able to get just a shock land. I would have spun the wheel and tried to win. Give Adnaz another turn here. Well, by spin the wheel, you mean draw a card off your Up the Beanstalk. It's, it's kind of asking a lot for that to be all you need here. Okay, so I go Grazer, Gardens into play, copy Amulet. This happens for sure. Not a line that you take super often, but this is definitely one of these situations. It's also just suspended Profane Tutor too, so it's like the 4 cards have to be land, Fastest Oracle, Angel's Grace, Spoils for them to win, and I think I'm okay just not playing around Xaxes 4 perfects, you know what I mean? Alright, so is this enough to Emrakul? This is 12 plus 5. Their deck is pretty bad against Hardcast Emrakul. I want to cast this now before they can, like, counter or whatever. Not that they're very likely to have a counter spell here. All right, trophied our first league. Feeling good. A lot of different decks too. Let's play at least one more. Can be difficult to brain power your way through. Timeless Lotus GP every day, but 10 matches is easy enough. Shout out to the believers. Open a Chalice. The card I always think is Hidetsugu Consumes All and Emery. Yeah, most decks have some struggle against Hardcast Emrakul. Where do you versus Magus? Lose.